How smoke detectors work. A guide to fire safety. A smoke detector can warn people in a building about a fire before it spreads. When smoke is detected, the detector will make a loud sound and often flash a light. There are two main types of smoke detectors, photoelectric and ionization. Photoelectric detectors use a light beam to sense smoke. When smoke enters the detector, it blocks or scatters the light, and the change in light makes the alarm go off. On the other hand, ionization detectors use a tiny amount of radioactive material to allow electric current to pass through the air inside the detector. When smoke enters, it stops the electricity from moving normally. The change in electricity will set off the alarm. Photoelectric detectors work for slow, smoldering fires, while ionization detectors respond faster to flaming fires. Fire safety experts suggest people use both types in their homes, or detectors that combine both technologies to increase safety. They also say it's important to place smoke detectors on every level of the house, inside bedrooms, and in connecting spaces like stairways. However, to avoid false alarms, keep detectors near kitchens but away from cooking appliances.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to English for You. I'm Mike.
And I'm Laura.
And today we're beginning a very short little article that is full of interesting and possibly important and possibly life-saving information all about smoke detectors.
Ooh.
That's right. Smoke detectors are things that I think they're kind of required in certain places. I remember in Canada as a kid, the firemen would come over once a year and they would look in your house to make sure you had a working smoke detector.
That's great.
This might have been at the beginning of the law, right, to get people to know about it. But I did notice when I moved to Taiwan that most of the places I lived, apartments in Taipei, did not have smoke detectors.
Exactly. I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Maybe hotels. You would
I think
see
they
them.
might need them. Again, there's probably a law. And I would always go out and buy one, so you can buy them here in Taiwan at a hardware store or somewhere like that. But yeah, they're not, I don't know if they're required by law, but forget the law. They're just a good idea. Having a smoke detector, maybe 2 or 3, especially one in the kitchen, having one maybe in another part of the house to detect smoke in other places. These are all good things because of, as they say, where there is smoke, there is fire. And if there is fire in your house, you don't want to be there. No, you want to be outside, away from the fire that could be burning your house down. And smoke detectors will give you that early warning that could potentially save your life and the life of anyone living with you or even in the whole building.
Okay, so let's get to right into our article and find out more about how smoke detectors work.
Good.
A guide to fire safety.
Great idea. Okay, so the first sentence says, a smoke detector can warn people in a building about a fire before it spreads. It's true. It's kind of a funny name, a smoke detector. You could probably call it a smoke alarm because it is an alarm. It's supposed to ring and tell you about danger, about something that could be bad news. And of course, that's what alarms do. But this does it by detecting smoke. I don't know, maybe there's fire detectors or other types of detectors. But a detector is basically something that, it detects.
Detector 就是侦测器啦，它是个名词哦。所以今天大家可能在想说，到底 smoke detectors 是什么？我们一直在讲哦，就是烟雾探测器咯。Okay, I'm gonna give an example sentence of this word.
Okay.
The smoke detector started beeping because someone burnt the toast again.
Oh boy.
Well, thank God it's just a burnt toast.
That's true. And the good thing is real smoke detectors probably won't start ringing for something as simple as burnt toast. I remember burning some steak or hamburgers
you did.
once.
And
I
did
didn't.
Go
I
off?
think my mom did. And, we would be out there waving in front of it. No, it's not a fire. It's just my mom is a terrible cook or something like that. But don't worry. It won't go off when there's like a candle being blown out or a little bit of smoke.
No.
You need quite a lot more than that. As the article says, when smoke is detected, the detector will make a loud sound and often flash a light. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good help, especially at night. But yes, the smoke must be detected. When you detect something, you discover or find it. Maybe you find the exact thing you're looking for. Maybe like with chemicals, you find just a little bit of it, a few atoms of it. They might use scientific experiments to detect chemicals in food or something like that to keep people safe and healthy. For example, the rescue dog can detect if there is anyone trapped in the building. Something flashes, you're using a light, but just a short amount of time, all right? So it's just like a quick amount of light. It goes on, then it goes off. Then it might go on and off and on and off and on and off like that. Kind of like the lights on top of a fire truck or a police car or something like that. Or if you're trying to get someone's attention, you might flash the lights in the room or something like that, or flash the light in their eye so that they notice it. For example, the lighthouse flashes so that sailors can avoid the rocks in the dark. Yeah, flashing lights are often used just like alarms and loud sounds to warn people of danger.
Detect 其实就是测出、查出，它是一个动词哦。那刚刚其实提到的 detector 就是侦测器，我想到是测谎器，也是叫做 lie detector。OK， 那 detect 要怎么用呢？ For example, the police dog can detect hidden objects even if they are buried underground. 那刚刚我们有提到，就是如果真的很不幸的哦，就是也侦测到可能会有火灾，这个 smoke detector 就会怎么样 flash， 这就是发出闪光或者是闪烁，它是一个动词哦。For example, the photographer's camera flashed so brightly that I couldn't see for a moment. Ouch.
So let's get back to these smoke detectors and actually find out a little bit about how they actually work. It says there are two main types of smoke detectors, photoelectric and ionization. Okay, I didn't know that. So this is basically the science behind how the machine works.
其实通常我们看到有字首 photo 都有光的意思哦，那常常我们可以跟形容词或是名词连用，所以这里的 photoelectric electric 就是用电的，合起来变成一个字哦，就是光电的，它是一个形容词哦 photoelectric。那 ionization 这也是好像有点难的字哦，这是一个名词，就是游离或是离子化哦。
All right, so let's go to that first one, the photoelectric detector, using electricity and light to find smoke. And that's kind of what it does. Photoelectric detectors use a light beam to sense smoke. I guess this very sensitive light can see if smoke is there, because smoke will, change the light in a certain way that normal clear air wouldn't. It uses light beams to do this. I'm sure light beams that we can't see, maybe infrared or ultraviolet or something. So it won't be shining these beams of light around in your home when you're trying to work or sleep or do things. They're beams that our eyes probably can't see. But a beam is basically a ray or a line of light, or maybe some other kind of energy or signal. We can talk about a laser beam, which is concentrated light. We could talk about the beams from X-rays, or maybe radioactive beams or waves as well. Things that kind of move through the atmosphere, through the air, move all around us. Oftentimes, again, we can't see them without using special machines. For example, a beam of light came through the window, waking Aaron up. Oh, that's the worst, when that beam of light comes between the curtains and shines on your eyes when you're still in bed in the morning.
Exactly, when you want to sleep in on the weekend. No thanks. Okay, beam 是什么呢？就是光线哦，这是个名词哦。不过它也有意思是能量的束。Okay, so for example, the sun's beams lit up the room as I opened the curtains. Again, I don't want to wake up that early.
All right, so what does it say? When smoke enters the detector, it blocks or scatters the light, and the change in light makes the alarm go off. Yeah, so there you go. In the same way that our very simple human eyes, which maybe you're not as powerful as the photoelectric smoke detector, but we can still see when there's smoke in the air, right? It blocks the light. Everything looks a little browner or grayer. Your eyes are able to know the difference between a smoky air and clear air. Well, this does basically the same thing. The only difference is when it senses that there's smoke in the room, it makes an alarm go off. And that alarm, again, should wake you up and warn you of danger.
OK, 我们这里有看到了，就是它有侦测到这个烟雾哦，它有提到就是动词 scatter 这个字，就是指使光线等等的散射。那当然呢，它侦测到的时候，可能呢就会怎么样 makes the alarm go off， 你就会听到就是警铃响，叮 I can't make the sound. I don't even know what it sounds like.
It's kind of loud. I don't remember.
Is it like the ambulance loud?
Yeah.
Oh no,
it's
that's
loud. Yeah, it's loud enough to wake you up at night, right?
Okay, for sure. That's very important though.
That's when it's most useful, exactly. It says, on the other hand, so this is the other type, remember the ionization kind. On the other hand, ionization detectors use a tiny amount of radioactive material to allow electric current to pass through the air inside the detector. This was the kind we had as a kid. I remember it had that symbol on one little piece inside the smoke detector. You have to open it to change the battery probably every year or so. So we would open it and they would have that little sort of fan symbol that we often see in movies on radioactive things, nuclear bombs or nuclear material. It's sort of like feeling like you had an atomic bomb in your home. I think it's a tiny amount, as it says, of radioactive material, but you are warned, don't break this thing open. It could be very unhealthy because, of course, radiation is not healthy for living things to be around, but that's how it works.
Interesting. Okay. On the other hand, 我们要来学一下这个片语，就是另一方面，通常就是有一个转折语气哦。比方呢 ，The dress is pretty. On the other hand, it's too expensive for me to buy right now. Or studying is important. On the other hand, taking breaks is just as necessary. And we also saw the word radioactive. 这个是放射性的，是个形容词。And current 这个字呢是名词哦，就是电流。
All right, when smoke enters, the smoke stops the electricity from moving normally. So there you go. The smoke will react with the electricity and also with that radioactive material. And basically the machine can sense when there's even just tiny amounts of smoke in the air. Normally, this is what it says. Normally, it stops the electricity from moving normally. Normally is in a normal way, in the way that you expect, in the common way, in the usual way, in not the strange, weird, or unusual way. It's the kind of way things go normally. For example, once the app updated, it opened normally without any error messages appearing on my screen. Yeah, it's annoying when your computer doesn't work normally because you know what to expect, and when it starts doing weird stuff, I start to get nervous.
Same. So normally 是什么呢？我们知道 normal 就是正常嘛，这是它的副词哦。正常的，平常的。举例来说 ，The clock wasn't ticking normally, so Oliver replaced the battery to fix the problem.
It says the change in electricity will set off the alarm. Of course, here we're still talking about the ionization smoke detectors. But now let's go back to both of them and kind of look at where they're good and where maybe they're not so good. Photoelectric detectors, the first kind, work for slow, smoldering fires, while ionization detectors respond faster to flaming fires. Oh, I didn't know that there was a difference like that. So photoelectric detectors will work for slow, smoldering fires when there's more smoke than fire, in other words. So that should maybe be good for catching the fire before it starts to really get out of control, while ionization detectors respond faster to flaming fires that are actually on fire. They're not just sort of burning very slowly and quietly making smoke. No, there's flame, there's heat, there's actual fire. So they do respond slightly differently. To respond is to react quickly or in the correct way to something or somebody. All right. If someone asks you a question, you will respond with an answer, probably. If someone maybe makes a joke, you might respond by laughing. If someone calls you a bad name, you might respond by getting angry or maybe crying. Why did you call me that bad name? So it's basically how you react to something. For example, when the teacher asked him a question, Zach responded with the correct answer. And flaming, as we mentioned there, flames are those bits of fire. If you light a candle, there's one flame burning away there at the top of the candle. So something that is flaming has flames. In other words, it is on fire. Kelly used a flaming stick to light the campfire, and pretty soon that flaming campfire will be cooking her breakfast.
Okay, we also saw the adjective smoldering, okay, 就是指闷烧的 okay, 这是个形容词哦。那 respond 刚刚 Mike 解释的非常好，其实就是反应的意思啦，它是个动词。For example, my phone takes forever to respond when I'm playing games. 那常常我们还会用 respond to something, 就是对什么什么做出反应。刚刚课文还有提到 flaming fires, 其中的 flaming 这个形容词就是燃烧的、冒火焰的。Okay, for example, in the game, the dragon's flaming breath destroyed the castle.
Wow, sounds like a good game. Fire safety experts suggest people use both types in their homes or detectors that combine both technologies to increase safety. Well, that's good to know that they have those. So yeah, it probably would make sense if you want to do this to be really safe to have both types. Have the ionization type and the photoelectric type. Have them both together or maybe in different parts of your home. That will give you more safety and more coverage. Or it says detectors, machines, these actual machines, that combine both technologies to increase safety. So you can kind of get two in one machine with both ionization and photoelectric technology. That sounds like the best solution to me.
I want to get that. Okay, so 消防安全专家建议人们在家中同时使用这两种类型的侦测器，或者呢是结合两种技术的侦测器哦，以提高安全性。
They also say it's important to place smoke detectors on every level of the house, inside bedrooms, and in connecting spaces like stairways. I guess in Taiwan, where many people live in apartments, this isn't such a problem. But I know, in Canada, our house had 3 floors and a basement, so 4 smoke detectors at least. And then we had another one in the kitchen and, put some by the bedroom where the people are. You can avoid maybe putting it in a bathroom or something like that. You might not need it there, but certainly in all the hallways outside where a lot of the doors in the home meet, that those kind of common areas where the smoke could channel around. Give people enough warning, especially if they're sleeping at night. But yes, have a few. Don't just have one.
刚刚整句课文是说，消防安全专家还表示，在每层楼或者是卧室里面，以及像这个楼梯间这样的连接空间，放置这个 smoke detectors 烟雾侦测器非常重要。
However, to avoid false alarms, keep detectors near kitchens, but away from cooking appliances. In other words, don't put one right over the stove where you might cook your bacon every morning because it'll go beep, 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 beep,
all the
time. And like my house, you'll have to get someone to pull out a chair, stand on a chair, and get a magazine or a newspaper, a towel, and wave it in front of the smoke detector until it stops making that annoying noise. An annoying noise that could save your life.
Okay, appliance 是什么呢？就是家用电器哦。所以呢，然而他们说为了避免误报，你应该将这侦测器放在靠近厨房，但是要远离烹饪电器的地方哦。好的，不想错过更多精彩的 English for You 内容，就快点点用我们的 YouTube 频道和追踪 Facebook 吧。
All right, we have our chat question. Have you ever experienced a fire alarm going off or seen this in a movie? Describe what happened.
In the movie, yes, but I haven't experienced a fire alarm going off in real life.
Okay.
So I imagine it would be super loud, chaotic, with people running everywhere and lots of confusion, maybe. I hope I never have to experience that in real life.
Absolutely.
No.
I've certainly experienced it, but I think the biggest fear would be to wake up at like 4 a.m, it's dark, and there's a smoke alarm going off. That would be terrifying. Luckily, that's never happened to me.
Okay.
All right, thanks for joining us, guys. Do go out and find yourself a smoke detector. It's a simple thing. They're not expensive. You can install it in just a few minutes, and hey, it might save your life.
Yeah.
That's what it's designed for. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Detect. These dogs are specially trained to detect the smell of drugs in people's bags at the airport. Flash. The police car began to flash its lights to tell the speeding driver to pull over. Beam. The lighthouse sent out a powerful beam to guide ships safely through the dark waters. Normally. Mia checked her phone to make sure it was working normally before she made an important video call. Respond. The police responded to the 110 call by sending officers to the scene of the car accident. Flaming. The firefighters arrived quickly to put out the flaming car on the side of the road.
智慧小补帖
Ionization. Ionization. Radioactive. Smoldering. Appliance.